Now, I know what happened after President Obama won in 2012. Now, an argument could have been made that there was a mandate, right? But all of the pundits, certainly the Fox News guy, said no mandate. No mandate at all. Okay, when he won clearly and decisively. You remember Charles Krauthammer on Fox News here.
I think the real story here is that Obama won, but he's got no mandate. He won by going very small, very negative, and we are left as a country exactly where we started, but a little.
Okay, so very small, very negative, kind of like what the Republicans did. That means no mandate. I'm very clear on that. Well, let's go to the politicians. Let's ask Rand Paul. This is after 2012.
It's not a mandate. I mean, he wins by a couple of points. And really, some of it I think we haven't really completely finished the discussion on. For example, are rich people paying their fair share? Well, they're paying about half of their income. What's enough?
Okay, definitely no mandate. After Democrats win, there's never a mandate. But now, Republicans and conservatives saying that's normal, right? How about David Axelrod, top advisor to the president? Here's what he said, not after 2014, after 2012, when his president won. Watch.
On this issue of particularly the fiscal cliff, one thing, presidents always say, well, I had a mandate. That's a foolish word, and it's generally untrue.
No. When you win, you wouldn't want a mandate. No, of course not. I'm sure the Republicans will return the favor. We'll get to them in a second. But let's go to the president himself. I mean, after his victory, you would think that he would want some sort of mandate to push through his progressive priorities, right? Let's find out.
With respect to the issue of mandate, I've got one mandate. I've got a mandate to help middle-class families and families that are working hard to try to get in the middle class. That's my mandate. That's my mandate. I don't presume that because I won an election that everybody suddenly agrees with me on everything. I'm more than familiar with all the literature about presidential overreach in second terms. We are very cautious about that.
Cautious. We don't want to presume that anybody agreed with me because they voted for me and made me president of the United States of America. I wouldn't want to overreach. Well, on the issue of compromise, President Obama, after you win decisively against Mitt Romney, now, are you going to pursue your policies or immediately begin to compromise with Republicans?
Today I'm meeting with CEOs of some of America's largest companies to make these decisions in a balanced and responsible way. I'm open to compromise and I'm open to new ideas. I want to hear ideas from everybody. So I recognize that we're going to have to compromise. I just want to emphasize, I am open to new ideas. Democrats and Republicans, we're both going to hold hands, and that's precisely what I intend to do. I don't expect the Republicans simply to adopt my budget. That's not realistic. I'm not going to just slam the door in their face. Look, I think there's no doubt that I can always do better. I don't exempt myself from needing to do some self-reflection and see if I can improve our working relationship.
He wins, and then he's like, I got to do some self-reflection. Here's the self-reflection I would have done. I won. I'd like to now do my priorities. No, compromise, no mandate. I literally said he'd like to hold hands. But look, guys, I gave you that as background because obviously the Republicans are not going to do likewise now that they won in 2014. They still have the House and they captured the Senate. So let's go to Rush Limbaugh and find out what kind of compromise he'd like to do with Obama and whether he thinks there's a mandate for Republicans.
The Republican Party now has one of the most important and unquestionable mandates a political party has ever had at its junction with American history. And it is the biggest and perhaps the most important mandate a political party has had in the recent era. And it is very simple what that mandate is. It is to stop Barack Obama. It is to stop the Democrat Party. There is no other reason why Republicans were elected yesterday. Republicans were not elected to govern. The Republican Party was not elected to fix a broken system and make it work. The Republican Party was not elected to compromise. The Republican Party was not elected to sit down and work together with the Democrats. Yesterday's result cannot in any way mean that voters want Republicans to work with Democrats.
See, I wonder if there was a contrast. I couldn't quite tell. My favorite part is we were not elected to govern. I thought that was actually the job description. No. Our job is to do nothing but fight against Obama. Okay, now you say, look, that's a big blowhard talk show host. That's not necessary. But wait a minute. The Fox News guys were the ones saying that Obama did not have a mandate. If Democrats win, it's not a mandate. Well, look, let's be fair. Let's go to a Fox News guy. Let's go to Sean Hannity and see if he's going to say the same thing. No, Republicans don't have a mandate and they should compromise with Obama. Just like they said after 2012. Let's see.
Well, McConnell also promised cooperation and compromise, and if he thinks that that's why the Republicans gave them back power, then I think he's misreading the election. And I think this is an opportunity for them to put bills on the president's desk and to educate the American people about how energy independence is important, how not spending more money than you take in is important, an alternative to Obamacare is important, securing the borders is important. And I think that they ought to take every one of those bills and lay it out right on the president's desk and dare him to veto it.
Yeah. If you thought compromise was the point of the selection, you misread the election. You take all of your priorities, like helping the oil companies. That's what this election was about, right? And you educate the American people about it, and you make Obama sign all those things. Okay, well, let's go to the writers here. Red State writer Leon Wolf. Maybe he's going to strike a more conciliatory note. And at the end, I'll give you the head of the Republicans, the head of the Republican Party, and we'll see what he has to say. Leon Wolf says, my hope is that Republicans reject this patent nonsense for the poppycock that it is, referring to compromise. Not only should Republicans not work closely with Democrats, they should instead keep them as far away as possible, preferably across a large moat filled with sharp stakes, acid, and alligators. That way our side will be safer from friendly fire when we launch the flaming tar at the remaining Democrats in office. I'm glad the Democrats reached out to Republicans and conservatives because they have obviously want to do the same exact thing after they win. They're so magnanimous in victory. I'm not done with Leon yet. One more. Not only should they not be worked with, they should not even be invited to the table to be part of the discussion, lest their gangrenous, festering, and destructive ideas should further infect our caucus. Such a brilliant idea that when you won, to have not done anything with it and tried instead to compromise with these guys who'd like to put acid and alligators between you two. Okay. But wait a minute. Now, these are all writers and columns. Let's go to Reince Priebus. I mean, he's the head of the Republican Party. I'm sure he's going to strike a much more conciliatory note after the election, just like Axelrod and Obama did after 2012.
The question is, are Republicans going to pass something? Are they going to compromise with the president, or is he going to use executive action?
I don't believe a thing he says. So, I mean, he's been talking about immigration reform for 7 years. So, I mean, you're using his words as if they actually mean something. I mean, and asking me to respond to it. He's been talking about this when he had 60 votes in the Senate and Nancy Pelosi in the House, and he didn't do a darn thing. And all he's been doing for the last year is lying to Hispanic voters.
So you just called the president a liar there. But remember when Obama said Mitch McConnell's a liar right after he won? Or Axelrod said, no, wait, but I just showed you the tapes. I don't think they said that. Okay, wait, hold. Gets better.
You just came out here and said you don't believe a thing the president says, and you use the word lying specifically to talk to him.
Not on immigration. No, because that's what he's doing. Not on immigration. He's using
I'm just saying it's not a tone.
For politics.
You're not putting forth a tone that is, all right, let's do a fresh start and work together. That's all I'm saying.
He has screwed up even his own priorities on this issue by mishandling the politics on this from the very beginning. So now to come back and say, after the American people repudiated the policies of Barack Obama and everyone that was connected to him, to now say, well, what are you guys going to do to compromise with the person that the American people had just repudiated? I think it's a little bizarre.
Bizarre to even consider compromise with the president. He has been thoroughly repudiated. They obviously have a mandate to do whatever they want. See, this is the state of politics in America. Totally uneven playing field. Where Democrats, even when they win, they bow their heads and they go, oh my God, I just talked to all the CEOs. Remember, that's the first thing Obama said. I just talked to all the CEOs and they told me what to do, right? And they told me that I got to go compromise with Republicans and I can't wait to reach out to them. When the Republicans win, they go, yeah, we plan to reach out to the president with this, the back of our hand, right? It's all a game, man. It's all a game. So It's not like every Democrat in the country who's an elected politician is stupid and weak by nature, that all Democrats are born this way. Of course not. They're human beings. There's incredibly strong progressives. They have been throughout American history. There are today, right? No, the CEOs are the ones that fund the weak Democrats who get all the money from the donors, from the rich donors and corporations, to bow their heads and say, yes, Republicans, which tax cuts would you like? And they also fund really strong Republicans to come in and say, we will break your back, okay? And you will give us exactly what we want. And what do we want? As the Republicans have immediately said the day after the election, corporate tax cuts, corporate trade deals, Keystone XL pipeline, more for the oil companies. That's how we get all the benefits going to the rich and the multinational corporations and none coming to us, with these incredibly weak Democrats who have been funded to be weak, and the out-of-control Republicans who have been funded to push this political state in America all the way to the right. And as you see, no matter who wins, in the end, you get the same result. Giant win for corporations and nothing for the rest of us.